All right, folks. I'm very sorry about that. Uh, I literally moments ago checked this and set it at a proper volume, and then it did not save those settings, which is frustrating. Anyway, in about, let's say, 30 seconds, we're going to get started with our stream. We'll hang out here on a Saturday evening and chat about some things and get ready for, finishing. I don't know, maybe finish this model kit. We got to build the waist and the legs and the backpack, which is not a lot. So we might finish this. I know what I'm building next, at least. And we'll hang out and chat about a bunch of things. And I got a lot of anime to talk about, and mostly just hanging out with all of you. So I would recommend you get ready for it because the stream is going to start in just a moment. Okay. Hello and welcome to the Build with Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a model kit and to hang out with all of you. I'm throwing the Bear Cave, the leg of the site, the tier 2 blue emote in the chat. If you are currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi or use other people's emotes. Or if you feel like being a lurker, well, you can just go ahead and lurk. Ghost Valve is here. Lashberg is here. Hello to both of you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's Saturday. My neck and shoulder do not hurt. Had a stress right here. If you were here on Thursday, I apologize for only streaming for an hour. But an ice pack and laying on my back and stretching out really did help. If you did not hang out on that stream on Thursday and you don't know what I'm talking about, I ended my stream about 50 something minutes into it because one of actually this very piece, this sprue fell, and I was like, oh, I gotta reach for it. I gotta grab it. It was just outside my reach. So I put the pre-show screen up and then leaned out of my chair. I leaned over and stretched on an uncomfortable position, and in doing so, put my arm up to kind of like compensate and just pulled something. Because I'm 43 and sometimes shit just doesn't work right anymore. Uh, so what I would recommend for everybody, but also to me in the future, if I drop a sprue, I'm just going to put that screen up and I'm going to stand up out of my chair and move my chair and then like bend at the knees and get whatever I need. Um, I drop down to one knee, reach over, pick it up. I'm not going to do what I've done sometimes when I've dropped like a Lego, which is to use my stretch out my foot and try to like grab it between my toes and pull it. Like I'm not going to do that anymore because I might strain something in my foot or whatever. I just have to recognize that while I am still built strong, I am not built indestructible. Lord Grant says, hey, Pat, happy you're better after Rikering yourself last time. Yes, I did cause him an injury. It wasn't a game controller related, but it was my own fault. I mowed the lawn today. I did a bunch of yard work and everything's looking good. And I'm feeling okay and I'm stretched out. But yeah, if I drop something, I'm just going to properly pick it up. I'm not going to like lean over to pick it up anymore. I just shouldn't do that. There's no point in that. It'll take a little longer. Anyway, we're going to talk about the three anime in the second hour. We'll talk about the three anime shows that I didn't talk about on Thursday because of shenanigans, and one other show, and I broke it up. And then on Monday we'll talk about the other show. So we will not hear. We don't know right now. I cannot tell you more about what happens with the vampires in Undead Murder Farce. We will find out more about that on Monday's stream. So tune in for that. We have the Zaku 1 sniper type right here. I had basically almost completed the hands when we went off, so I just finished that. So now I have the hands done, and this kit is looking great. The weapons are already built earlier, so those are done. Now we're just going to work on the legs. We'll start with the feet, I should say. Then work on the legs, and then work on the waist to put it all together. build the backpack, which also includes this like hose that could be annoying, but hopefully won't be annoying. And we just gotta attach that to the sniper rifle because the backpack holds the beams. I was about to say bullets, but that's not true. It's the beams. So we'll do that, and that'll be cool. And then we'll body complete this thing. Will we actually finish this tonight? I don't know. I don't know if we'll finish it tonight. I know what I'm building next. Also, before I forget, and I will mention in the middle of the stream, but I like to mention it up top too. It's September, and I would like to remind you that it is September, and you can save money by becoming a subscriber. 25% off your 1 month subscription, 25% off a 3 month. You get 30% off your 6 month. And gift subs will be 25% off starting on September 26th. So just for a few days at the end of the month. I am currently at 42 out of 50 subscribers. That's right. Bunny Fiend, who brought us well over 100 and really blew it out of the water. Bunny Fiend subs have expired. We thank Bunny Fiend for their incredible, ridiculous, unnecessary generosity. So now we're back down to 42. The goal is 50, as you can see from there. And I shut up about it once we hit 50. So if you'd like to become a subscriber, you want to gift a sub, you want to use your Prime Gaming token, you could do that if you wanted to. Get that looking good there. And then we'll pop over here onto Twitter so I can retweet my tweet. And then I'm just going to retweet my tweet and see if we can maybe get a few more folks to join us tonight. I don't know. It's Saturday. And I felt bad that I only streamed for an hour on Thursday because we didn't really get a lot done. But we will get more done tonight as we start working on these feats. So let's start getting these feats together here. We'll just put the kid up there. What we just had here. Nick, this is subscribe with Prime. That's a 4 months of subscription. Thank you so much. Let's throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the Tier 2 blue emote in the chat. Nick, this, thank you for renewing your sub with Prime. We are now at 43 out of 50. The goal is within reach. It's within spitting distance, as they say. Let's start working on some feet, and let's continue to talk shit about Elon Musk. Speaking of Twitter, let's talk some Elon Musk shit because there is a biography of Elon Musk that is coming out or is out. I believe it is coming out. And there was an excerpt about the of the book, not a review of a. How do I put this? I'll say this correctly. In order to help sell a book, often segments of the book are released, like test chapters or segments of a chapter are released with certain deals to put on websites to then help promote it, to give it a sample of what's going on. And then other people will then report on those little chapters. And there is a book coming out. This is on the Byte, I should say. There's a book about Elon Musk coming out. It's by the same author that put out a book about Steve Jobs and does like a lot of tech books. Walter Isaacson has a biography that is just called Elon Musk, so it'll be easy to Google. You just have to probably Google the author's name. And I can't tell you the quality of said biography. I don't know. I do know that most likely, my guess is it's going to be a fairly even take of like, here's the faults, here's what happened, here's the context. But at the end, it'll be like, well, he sucks, but like, isn't it worth it? Anyway, in 2015, Elon Musk stormed into Tesla's offices with an angry look on his face. He was mad. Elon Musk was mad in 2015. He continues to be mad, but in this case, there was a very specific reason why Elon Musk was mad and why he was so mad at his engineers. He was mad because in his commute to work, consistently, his automotive process, the autopilot for his Tesla, was almost killing him. Numerous test drives where, let me see here. he blamed the program, and then they were like, it's not the program. And he would just be mad about it. He was consistently mad about it because he was like, we got to fix this shit. This stuff, this isn't working. What do we need to do to get this working right? And people were like, well, we need to work on the optical sensors. We need more optical sensors. And this is the part where the thing that people used to say, that they say less now they say, oh, well, Elon Musk surrounds himself with really smart people, and he has great vision. He's a visionary. He gets it. People used to say that he was a genius. They used to try to lay it at his feet that he was doing all this stuff because of his great vision and his great knowledge and understanding of things. And then later they had to kind of change their tune on that. So his big response to people who know what they're talking about being like, okay, we need more than just optical sensors. There is a technology we can use, the LIDAR, a light detection and range technology. Like, it will be expensive. Every car will cost more if we do it, but like, that's the solution to the problem that you are having. This one turn that is causing you so much distress and other people distress. But his response to that was, well, humans use eyes when they drive, so we should only need optical sensors. So to him, if we can do it, then cars should be able to do it on their own. But also LIDAR, LIDAR would be very costly, of course. And everyone was just like, lots of quotes of people just being like, hey, no, what? He thought they could use camera vision only. Because basically, like, the dumb idea he had, which people who were smarter than him would let him know was a dumb idea, but he was just stuck on it, was people only need two eyes to drive, so cars should only need two optical sensors, which is just foolish, but whatever. So apparently the reason, the problem he was having was, I should say here, so there was this curve that he would go on, and it would swerve, and he would swerve into oncoming traffic if there was traffic. And apparently the reason it was happening is because this one area that they were having some issues with, the lines, the painted lines, the yellow lines there were kind of worn down. So the cameras in the car didn't quite understand what was going on with it. This is Interstate 405, I should say. Interstate 405 caused autopilot thrown off by the road's faded lane lines to steer into and almost hit oncoming traffic. So you're thinking, okay, Pat, well, eventually he caved. He understood this was the problem. It wasn't the coding. It wasn't, it wasn't like lazy developers that he had hired. It wasn't anything like that. It was just like the car needs more work, or the design of autopilot needs more work. And it's like, no, the solution was chief of staff at the time, Sam Teller. His solution was to get the lane lines on that curve repainted so that the car's autopilot did not mess up and almost crash. And hey, guess what? It worked. That was the solution to the problem. Case closed as far as Elon Musk is concerned, because he didn't have problems anymore. Of course, that does not, solve the underlying problem. It doesn't address it at all. It merely just fixed it for Elon Musk, which is all Elon Musk certainly cared about. Why was this thing wrong for Elon Musk? Not that it would, It did not solve a problem in any part of the wherever it was being tested where there might be, I don't know, lane lines that are not completely secure. So that's just a short little bit on there. There's a little bit also from the bite that I did want to bring up. That this was from a couple days ago. Also from this book on Elon Musk about another Tesla thing. This is another chapter on it. This one's not as like fuck you. This is more like ha ha ha. That some engineers at the this is more just like a ha, like I said, ha ha ha. Some engineers at Tesla hated the design of the Cybertruck so much. They hate the Cybertruck that they started secretly working together on alternative designs for it. A majority of the people in the studio hated it. They were like, "You can't be serious." They didn't want to have anything to do with it. It's just too weird. They just hated the Cybertruck. So they were just like secretly working on their own. But they got like as far as kind of making it, as far as making like prototypes of it. There is a quote in this chapter, apparently, because this is again a summation of this a summary of this, where Elon Musk is quoted with like the most no duh thing ever, which is, "I don't do focus groups," which is like, yeah, Elon, we know. You don't have to tell us that. We knew that before you opened your mouth about that. Yeah. You don't listen to anyone. And that's not something to be proud of. Let's see. Also, hey, here's the thing about the interior of the Cybertruck. It it's just really like shitty. It's just really shitty. Like beyond the fact that it's got like terrible lines and it's not aerodynamic at all, and it doesn't look, it looks like, yeah, it's cyber shitty. Thank you, John. Also, hi, John. That is just like, yeah, it just looks real bad. The brushed metal just really doesn't work. Um, let's see. It's just, yeah, okay. Let me just find this here. Uh, there's a good chance owners will apply a lot of elbow grease to keep their new truck shiny. Previous images have suggested the truck could end up being a huge fingerprint magnet. Because of course it is, yeah. And also, it's not being put together well. It's a different process. It's not the same as the brush finish on a refrigerator or stain or a DeLorean or something. There's intentional finish that we apply to it is what they're saying, but that is seemingly not true. But they're saying, oh no, it's shiny and great, and it you know, it's gonna be good. It's funny that since the Cybertruck was announced, entire other companies sprang up and released their own electric truck line before the Cybertruck came out. Yes, of course they did, because of course they did, right? Because because they were just like, because if you want to make an electric truck, that sounds good. I think that sounds a lightweight electric truck. I think that sounds great. But you don't have to redesign the concept of trucks from the ground up. You could just make a version of a truck that already exists with an electric engine. You could just do it. But yeah, it seems like a bunch of bullshit. It seems real bad. Um, so there's wrestling happening tonight. There's no good transition for this. There's wrestling happening tonight, and which is cool, and things are shaping up right now for um, Grand Slam. Grand Slam is happening. It'll end up being a 2-night event. It's AEW Grand Slam. They do events where they're not pay-per-views. They're just TV shows that have like their extra oomph put into them, and they have like fun names like Winter is Coming and Fighter Fest and Grand Slam. This is gonna be at Arthur Ashe Stadium in New York. And it'll be two episodes of television because they tape Rampage, which is an hour-long program, after Dynamite, which is on Wednesday. So next Wednesday, they'll basically like tape 3 hours of television plus some extra stuff just to keep people happy. And ticket sales are not good, so they got to kind of do what they can do to try to get some people to come out for this shit. So they kind of stack the deck and they tell people in advance what's going on, right? So we got the card. Again, this card is subject to change. Right now we have 5 matches booked. One of the matches that's already been mentioned could move to night 2 because there's only 2 matches set up for night 2. And I believe one of them just got set up tonight. So, things can move around. Things can change. One would assume that Rampage will have a match featuring women. And perhaps tonight's main event, which is Chris Statlander defending her TBS championship against Britt Baker in Pennsylvania, which is Britt's home state. And so that's a little worrying that perhaps that could lead to like a rematch or another match at during Rampage next week. So we'll see. But we can talk about the matches that are currently booked for this event. Again, things could change. But right now we've got MJF versus Samoa Joe for the AEW World Championship. This is Max doing a lot of title defenses. Somewhat surprising, but Max, getting in on the title defenses. That's cool. Good for him. Saraya versus Toni Storm for the AEW World Championship. Toni Storm and Saraya were in... I'm still 90% sure I'm going to watch Grand Slam. Getting back into AEW in a bit for time investment, I'm not sure I want to commit to. I mean, look, one of the matches coming up, I'll mention, I'm very excited about. The other ones I'm like fairly excited about, but there's one that's just so good that I kind of can't wait for it. So it's made me hyped for the events. But yeah, I mean, you do you, right? Like, if there's something, that speaks to you on the wrestling card, and you're like, this is something that I could see myself getting into, like, yeah, it is a time commitment. There's a lot of wrestling, so it can be a time commitment, but I enjoy it. MJF versus Samoa Joe. I guess I should say, Samoa Joe with the AEW title sounds fucking awesome. It sounds really cool as hell. I think that is a no-brainer, and it makes a lot of sense, and I don't think they're going to do it. I think by they I mean AEW. I think AEW still really loves the idea of MJF as champ, and the money is in MJF and Adam Cole continuing their friendship that will eventually sour. I could see shenanigans happening. I can see Cole getting involved to save MJF and kind of helping him cheat to win and feeling bad about that. I think there's a lot of possibilities of ways this could play out. I could also see, just fucking... all right, I got to see here. Did I take the wrong pieces out here? I got 36 and 37. I think I took out maybe I took the wrong ones. No, these should be the same. There should be 230. 39. Huh? All right, I don't know. That's 34. I know that. 36 and 37. All right, I'm just going to take these out because I know they're right. I may have taken the wrong pieces out here. These may be right. We'll find out. We'll find out later if I did this right or if I did this wrong. It's okay. But yeah, I think MJF retains. I don't see them putting the belt on Joe. Saraya versus Toni Storm. Toni Storm is now lost her mind since she lost the AW World's Championship. That's been very fun. That has been a good storyline. I don't see Saraya dropping the belt, but also this could be a swerve, and they're going to bring Toni back. Oh, what do you mean, my? Oh, what the fuck? Thank you for noticing. Hi, Dirty. Yo, all right. I'm gonna have to after the. You know what I can do? I can do this. Mm, check. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, everybody. I don't know why that happens. Sometimes it's just touching it. Unplugging the mic from the USB should theoretically keep it from doing changes during the stream, and then I will. Uh, I'm gonna have to unplug everything and figure that out. So I apologize for that. I don't know why that happened. But like I said, even before the stream started, I had the volume set and then it reset itself. So that's fun. That is a fun thing that happens now. It's good and fun. Everybody loves it. They're all very psyched for me about that. Uh, all good. It just volume shifted hard when that happened. Yeah, of course. Totally. No, I know it did. I didn't hear it as it happened, but I know it did do that. Okay, so this goes like this. So because this is a sniper rifle, basically like one of the knees has some weird extra parts on it so that it can like bend differently. It basically has like a support stand like you would for a sniper, like an actual sniper would have the kickstand, not kickstand, but you know what I mean. But in this case, uh, it's the knee of the uh, yeah, a bipod. Yes, basically it's like a bipod, only it's a support, only it's in the actual robot, which is fun. Um, so Toni, I don't know. I don't know how this works out. I don't know if it's a swerve or if Toni winning makes her snap back and like I don't know if Toni Storm right now is a heel. It's a heel versus heel match, but I guess we want her to win. Because also I should say I kind of don't fucking want Saraya to still be champion, and I would like to see some belts change hands. I mean, one belt should theoretically change hands no matter what, but I'd like to see a belt. I'd like to see Toni Storm be a 3-time women's world champion. I think that would be kind of neat. Uh, I mean, also I would like a babyface to beat Saraya. So I don't know. Maybe we'll see Jamie Storm, or not Jamie Storm, Jamie Hayter. Maybe Jamie Hayter's healthy enough she can make a return. I don't know, but this one I'm just like, I kind of don't know where they're going with it, but I will wait and see, I guess. All right, so this is gonna go like this. Chris Jericho versus Sammy Guevara, the piss match, as I like to say. No, it is not a match that involves piss. It is a match that is on the card so you can go up and take a piss or get a drink or refill your snacks or check, your social media, whatever you need to do. It is a match specifically designed for you to zone out during. Now, is that their intention? Probably not. Is that what I'm going to do during it? Probably. It's probably when I'm going to like reset and relax because like what the fuck do I care about any of that shit? All right, so this goes like this. Okay, it goes like that. All right, great. So now we got our knee kind of built, and now we can build around that knee and assemble. Start putting this leg together here. Let's continue working on our leg. I'll also tell you the match I'm actually. Also, they said like, oh, someone's gonna win, and then the winner of this match, or after we win, we'll start being a tag team and going the tag team route. My assumption is that Sammy Guevara wins, and Chris Jericho is mad about that, and Chris Jericho turns back to being a full-fledged heel. He was by default not a heel because he was feuding with faces, or he with heels, so he was a face. But he'll go full heel again. My assumption is, yeah, Sammy wins on a big stage. Jericho cannot handle that. Jericho attacks Sammy after the match, because of course he would, and that leads to them feuding for a while, and that's fine because I don't really want either of them doing anything bigger than that. So sure, if it's got to happen, let it happen on the background. Claudio Castagnoli is putting his Ring of Honor World Championship on the line against Eddie Kingston, who is putting his Strong Openweight Championship on the line. That is a New Japan belt. So, if this match ends in a pinfall or submission, someone becomes a double champion. Is this going to be Claudio getting his first ever belt in New Japan, a promotion I don't believe he's ever worked for? He may have done one match, but I don't think he's even done a match for them. Or will it be Eddie Kingston becoming the Ring of Honor champion, besting his lifelong legitimate foe, like actual real heat, do not like person? Or will it be a bullshit ending? I'm voting on the bullshit ending. I think that Eddie Kingston is going to win the Ring of Honor championship at a Ring of Honor pay-per-view in December in Death Before Dishonor. And I do not think he is winning it here. I think we're going to have a schmoz finish because I don't think that Eddie is going to be a double champion, and I don't think that Claudio is going to become a double champion. Would it be possible that is not the case? Sure. Would it be great if Eddie Kingston and fucking in a New York City, Arthur Ashe wins 2 titles and has 2 belts at the same fucking time? Hell yeah, that would kick serious ass. I would love that for Eddie. Would it be cool for Claudio to have a New Japan belt? Yeah, that would be weird as hell. Weird and cool. Obviously, it's a strong belt, so it's not the same depending on who you talk to. But like, I don't give a shit about that. It totally is the same. It's totally cool and totally is the same. I have no fucking idea. Again, I think nobody wins that match. And the last match of night 1, which is Dynamite, will there be more than 5 matches? It's totally possible. Jon Moxley versus Rey Fenix, a singles match for the AEW International Championship. This could be the match of the night. I think Claudio versus Eddie could certainly steal it as well. This match should kick serious ass. I would imagine that Jon Moxley is going to retain because that seems to be what Jon Moxley is doing, is Jon Moxley is retaining the belt. We do have shenanigans here with some other people, and, there's people messing around in Collision, so maybe he won't, but I think that's the likely scenario. A match that could end up being added to night 1 or night 2 is we might see the Acclaimed. We'll find out in the results. We might see the Acclaimed versus the Dark Order. John Silver is facing Anthony Bowens, and if John Silver wins, then the Dark Order face them. Now, it could be that the Dark Order doesn't win tonight. He does not defeat Bowens, or John Silver does not defeat Bowens. They do not get that shot, and that's the end of that. Or it could be that they continue to hound the Acclaimed until they get their match with the Acclaimed, and perhaps it's at Wrestle Dream in like the pre-show. I don't know. I do know that 2 matches for night 2, which are the Rampage, same night, will air on the 22nd. We've got Christian Cage and Luchasaurus versus Darby Allin and Sting. That's right, Sting is going to be on a match on Rampage. That is silly to me. That is a fun, silly fact that Sting will be on a match on Rampage. and the Mogul Embassy, which is Brian Cage and Kuan and Toa Leona, who are or Bishop Khan, I should say, Bishop Khan, who are the Gates of Agony. So it's those three versus the Young Bucks and Hangman Adam Page, aka the Hung Bucks. So that's a Rampage match. That's very silly. Prince Nana getting his. The Gates of Agony being on a big important match like that is just silly to me. This is I think this is all part of the Hangman Adam Page Swerve Strickland feud, which I think is good for both of them. This could be very good for both performers, as they just kind of neither is anywhere near a belt, and at least one of them should fucking be near a belt, but they're not, so they're feuding together. Again, there is not, right now, there are only 2 matches for night 2. There is not a women's match. My hope is that the TBS title gets defended. Now, would it be fucking better if the TBS title got defended on TBS? Yes. In my opinion, it is weird that the TBS title is set for Rampage or Collision, which are on TNT, instead of being on TBS. But whatever. TBS is the flagship show, so that is where the world title gets defended more than the not world title, the TBS title, the secondary women's title. Also, Britt going for the secondary women's title sucks. I cannot be convinced otherwise. I do not like the idea that Britt Baker and Chris Stanton are wrestling tonight. I do not like the idea that, because if it was literally anyone else outside of probably signed to AEW but still recovering from injury, Mercedes Moné, I don't think anyone else outside of Britt Baker, because even like Thunder Rosa could come back and want the TBS title, which is weird because she was the world champ. But like, yeah, if Thunder Rosa showed up and was like, I want that belt, I'd be like, Thunder Rosa could lose or come back. But Britt, I'm like, very worried. I don't need Britt Baker with that belt. Don't need that shit. I just don't. I don't want to deal with that. Anyway, that's wrestling. I know I would say 3 or 4 people. Maybe it's 4. I can't remember. I know a few people that are going to Grand Slam, and that sounds cool. And I hope they have a good ass time. Let's see. Let's look at some stuff here. Nexus Mod, the fine folks at Nexus, the mod manager. They have a mod manager for various games. Vortex, they are a place to put your mods for various video games. They have over many years dealt with their own community and some people in their community being shitty throughout the years. Generally, their policy is to allow people to put up cool shit. And if it's hateful garbage, they get rid of it if you complain. That's kind of their standing. I remember in Fallout 4, I also took part in saying, hey, we need to ban this person because they're being garbage. That person was putting up mods that were... it is very popular for people to do mods that modify companions, especially female companions. There is a need by some people to do their beautiful mod or whatever, their re-envisioning of various people. But also clean faces, yes, Lord Christian. But also sometimes those modders aren't even doing that. They're just like, I don't know, dirty faces. Yeah. There was concept art for some companions. Preston Garvey had concept art. He didn't end up looking like the concept art because it's fucking concept art. There was a mod to make him look more like the concept art, right? Those things are cool. What wasn't cool was that somebody was doing individual mods where it was like, hey, I'm doing my version of this person. And you look at it and you go, did you just make them white? And I'm doing my version of this person. Oh, and it turns out this modder was just making any black character not black anymore. and enough people were like, hey, this fucking sucks. Those mods got taken down, and then this person put the mods back up, and it became a whole thing, and it like got a little bit of press about it because it's like, oh, well, you'll have this and you'll have that, and oh, you let all these things happen, but you can't do this. That's it's like, no, you're not like someone tried, not this person, but somebody who was defending it tried to argue that, well, Nexus allows you to change the ghouls so they don't look like ghouls. Isn't this the same thing? It's like, no, it's not. And you know it's not. You know that ghouls is an affliction that happens to people. Ghoulification is an affliction. And they were humans of various races. Ghouls aren't real people, indeed. But also, ghouls are just... it's like, it is just like, like, it's not the same thing. Yes, it was, and of course, a terrible argument. But here's the thing. This was not someone not trying to win a fight. This is someone wasting some time and being a jackass. These are jackasses. So, there's been lots and lots of very cool mods. Of course, supportive mods, pride flag mods, and various different things that have gone into those games that have been fantastic. Apparently, there's a mod for Starfield. Whataboutism. Yes, what about this? What about that? There was a mod, there have been lots of mods for Starfield, right? There's mods that are like, hey, we're going to get around this thing where you don't get achievements in Steam. Or we're going to at least take away the pop-up that's set when you try to use your console commands and all that. But basically, they kind of made the decision, hey, we do not care if you think that we are policing what people say and what you can't mod out of games. Because also, I should say, Nexus mod does not... Oh, faster animation when sitting in your cockpit. Yes. So, what I was going to talk about. There's a mod that takes away the pronouns question. And you're like, well, that's just a line of dialogue. You should probably be able to skip a lot of that stuff anyway. It's like, yes, but the intention is not that. The intention of this mod is not to just be shitty. Because if it was like, oh, we're going to, we're trying to say something, this is like satire, you would actually go further. Like, if you made a mod that asked you more questions about your gender identity and your sexual orientation and all that, like, you could make a really fun mod that really was granular and maybe you didn't do anything, it just asked you a bunch of questions. That would kind of be fun. Yeah, Lord Crashington, a mod that lets you adjust your vocal range and inflection. That could be interesting. But also, again, and Nexus says it like, hey, we have policies, and we also can just say you can't host a mod on our site for any. We don't need a reason to tell you can't do it. You can just do it somewhere else if you've got to be an asshole. Nexus is just the most popular place for mods. Game Banana's got some fun modders on there. Game Banana ain't that place. Also, Game Banana is much more strict about shit like that. There's a lot more pronoun warriors over on Game Banana. Okay. So yeah, they did this whole thing. It does decide what content it wants to host and not host. And Nexus mod said hosting the pronoun removal mod is not for us. It's certainly within our rights not to host content on our platform. Is what they're saying basically, as I said. The mod's removal wasn't a political statement or the side picking sides on ongoing culture war. It said it simply believes in diversity and inclusion and the removal of diversity, which while appealing to many, does not promote a positive modding community. So, does that sound like, oh, Pat, that's shitty that they're like, this isn't a political statement, we're not We're not trying to be part of a culture war. We're not picking sides or anything. Isn't that kind of a cop out, especially since they are clearly doing it? Well, yes and no. The what I would say counter that is we finished the lake, by the way. What I would say to counter that is um, by saying you're not taking part in a political war, what you're saying is, hey, this is not a war. We're not having a war. This is common decency. And this is not, oh, well, this is my opinion. Yeah, your opinion is shit. And we're not interested in the arguments that you're presenting. We're not interested in taking part in this. We're just going to say no and move on. Uh, because these type of things are not negotiable. And I think that is an important thing to stress and to remember in these kind of scenarios is that basically it's like, oh wait, fuck you, I don't have to engage in this shit. Like, oh no, I don't have to hear your bullshit arguments. It's based in hate, and there's no place for that here. So we're not gonna fucking dick around and like appease you and your weird bullshit. Like, oh no, this is not me taking sides. There is no sides. You're just fucking wrong. And I think that's totally reasonable approach. Fuck off. Yeah, basically it's like, nah. Um and I think the Nexus Mod statement of they're like, hey, a reinforcement that this has been the best course of action has been some of the hatred, vitriol, and threats of violence coming from very, very small minority of the community. Frankly, we are not sad to see them go. Yeah, it's like thing like, hey, we're making this stand. Oh, you hate that? We're so glad you're leaving. Enjoy finding some other garbage place to put your mods. Like we will not miss you. You will not be missed. See you later. This is the first time there was a mod in, and I made an example about Fallout 4 because that is what I've used a lot for. I guess they can go off to make Ted Cruz's Freedom PC mods. Yeah, whatever nonsense bullshit. They sourced an example here that I'm not as familiar with. This was a mod to Spider-Man Remastered because someone put up a mod on Nexus that removed all the pride flags. Which, like, what the fuck? Now, if you want to tell me that you want to replace, like, when I think about people doing like replacement things of flags and stuff, it's just like, yeah, most of the time people just want to put up like pinups and weird art and goofy nonsense and like, oh, I want to turn New York into like, I want to put up like, there's a mod for Spider-Man Remastered where you can put up like the bat symbol in various places and fill it with like DC bullshit. And I think that's very clever. But if you're just like, I got to take all these pride flags out of this game. And it's like, okay, well, even if it is being performative in the pride flags in the game where Spider-Man is very enamored with helping out the police, fuck off with that shit. And then, of course, that mod got re-uploaded to Internet Archive because just because it's not on Nexus doesn't mean it doesn't. It's been stripped of the internet. You could just put it somewhere else. Next mod says that was the Spider-Man mod. We are for inclusivity. We are for diversity. If we think someone is uploading, I should get these on here. I almost missed this part. If we think someone is uploading a mod on our site with the intent of deliberately being against exclusivity and diversity, then we'll take action against it. But yeah, basically they're just like, yeah, don't be a fucker. Reminds me of that indie arcade racing game that only had an option for less pride flags. Yes. Yeah. Should have had more. Should have had a more button. Ugh. A lot of it's garbage. A lot of these people suck shit. They're just shitty people who suck ass. And we're better off without them. But yeah. And then I will not read the comments of this Kotaku article because I do not care. Let's see. Tomb Raider Remaster, we talked about that. More pride flag sliders in video games. Yes. All right. It looks like that's all the Kotaku news. Oh, hey, The Rock was on TV last night. That was kind of fucking cool. I was watching SmackDown with the peeps, watching with the friends. Knew that John Cena was going to be on there. I knew they were in Colorado. They were in Denver, and they were like an hour away from a bunch of football bullshit. So I thought, well, maybe Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee used to be an announcer on there for a brief period of time. He's gotten very busy with Sunday Ticket stuff, doing football stuff. So I was like, well, maybe he'll stop in. That would be kind of neat. It would make sense for him to kind of pop in, drive an hour and see what's up. And that did happen. What I had forgotten was, and I'd only learned it briefly because I wasn't paying attention, I had forgotten that The Rock was a guest on the... that was N, not M. Shit, that's the wrong piece. The Rock was a guest on Pat McAfee's show. So Pat McAfee comes out. It's not a big surprise, but it's a surprise. And Colorado's like, hell yeah, Pat McAfee, that's cool. Nice. And then Pat McAfee gets interrupted by a wrestler by the name of Austin Theory. And Austin Theory is talking shit and whatever. And he's like, this is my house. I don't care about you guys. I don't care about the people. I don't care about these fans. He said a couple times, I don't care about the people. And then Pat McAfee's like, you don't care about the people? Well, then you probably got a problem with this guy. And then The Rock's music hit. And the crowd went bonkers because Denver, Colorado was like, holy shit, it's the fucking Rock. And I was like, damn, Rock, you are really just trying to get people to forget about all of that Black Adam bullshit, huh? And you know what? It fucking worked. He brought back an old school thing. They only did this once. They did this like 20 years ago. One night, The Rock was talking trash about Vince McMahon. I believe it was maybe the draft. It might have been the draft. I believe it was the first ever WWE draft. And The Rock said at this time goes, all right, crowd. Now this half of the audience, when I point at you, you're going to say, you are. And then he pointed the other half of the audience, the other side of the audience. And then when I point at you, you're going to say, an asshole. This is about Vince McMahon. And he did it you are an asshole. You are an asshole. And the crowd loved it, and it was great. And then because it was the draft, Vince McMahon had to keep coming back out over and over again throughout the night. And every time he came back out, the crowd would just do it. And it was just awesome. It was unbelievably very cool. And The Rock's never done it again until last night. And Fox censored it. They censored the hell out of it. They censored "You Are" because they knew, like, they just didn't get the rhythm of it. They censored, like, the whole thing. It was kind of wild to hear. They also censored the crowd chanting "Holy shit," which I thought was odd. But yeah, Fox went really overboard with like muting all of the crazy audio. It was pretty great. It's pretty cool. But it's also like The Rock's there. That's fun. Rock did some moves. Rock did a rock bottom, of course, or in the people's elbow, of course, on Austin. And then he pointed at Pat McAfee, which I'll tell you, friends, I don't think was planned because the music just kind of like picked up like Oh, I missed a piece on here. The music kind of picked up like Rock's music played, like the segment was over, but then the music had to die down because the Rock was pointing at Pat McAfee to do a people's elbow, and Pat was like, "I mean, I guess I'll just do a people's elbow. You're telling me to do it," and he did, and that was fun. That was a fun night of wrestling over on Smack Diggity Down. I forgot a piece, friends, so I have to get this back together, but we are almost done with the legs here, and then we'll have the waist and the backpack left to do. So we might actually finish this kit up tonight. I'm pretty sure we will, because obviously we'll take a pause for the cause, talk about ways you can support the channel, and then we'll get back into the business. But yeah, we're and I got to panel line this other leg and such, but yeah, we're definitely getting there, which is great. Because we would be done with this kit by now if I had the second hour on Thursday. But of course, I did not have the second hour because I was hurting and I had to stop. God, that was more annoying than anything else. But I just knew that I needed to get an ice pack on there and I needed to relax because that was not magically going to get better. I wasn't going to be able to tough that out. If it had been like 10 minutes, 5 minutes, no problem. But the stream was long enough that I knew that wasn't going to work out. And then I also wish that Jason had streamed a little longer, but he didn't, which is okay. These parts don't really go together quite right. I'm a little annoyed by that, but whatever. We're going to panel line. We'll panel line the rest of this leg after the pause for the cause, and then we'll get the waist together here. Oh, come on. We'll get the waist together so that we can get this thing all put together here. Let me see if I can get this. No. Did I do it wrong? It's within the possibility that I put this on wrong, but I don't think I did. This bends in a way that sucks. Nope, that doesn't work. What am I? Sorry. No, that looks... Yeah, this is right. This is how it's supposed to go. We'll see. Let's see if I can get this together so we can take our pause to the cause. It's preventing me. Sometimes you have to have an audible. Yeah, I mean, that was Thursday. It was just like, I just knew that I was not in the right set of my mindset for that. But then I had hoped that Bad Gunpla, Jason, because we never get to raid Jason. I was hoping he would stream a little longer than he did. But, of course, I can never control that. When I raid people, I try to pick people on the West Coast that I think will be streaming for a while longer. But I can never be sure. Why is this being like this? It's so weird. It's when I push it, it's just not looking good. West Coast, Best Coast. I mean, sure. I always say the West Coast is nice for me when I can't sleep and I'm up really late because they are also awake. And they are all, and then the East Coast goes to bed and I am just looking for things that are posted on social media or whatever. There we go. That was really annoying. I don't know why that was so annoying, but we'll get this panel lined here after the pause for the cause, and we'll continue working on it. So let's go to this. I need this here, and we'll go over here. Hello. If you are currently a subscriber to the Build Bear Workshop, at this time, I would request that you put the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, and the Tier 2 Blue emote, if you are a Tier 2 subscriber, in the chat, letting people know that is a cool thing you get for being a subscriber. I'm going to be talking about various ways you can help me out here on stream. All of these are optional. You don't have to do any of these things. But being a subscriber is the easiest way to support me here through Cash Money, $5 a month. You could save money because it's fucking September, everybody. So if you want to save a couple bucks on September, you could do that on 1 month, all the way up to more money saved on 6 months. You could do that. Cash Money, your Prime Gaming token. Tonight we had Nick This Is resub with Prime, which is very helpful. You could also gift a sub. You can't save money and gift a sub till later in the month. Or right now, if you want to gift a sub, you can bring somebody on board. We are currently at 43 out of 50 subscribers. The goal is always 50. So we'd like to get to that 50 number the 50. Become a subscriber, easy way to do that. Again, you can save some money. Gift a sub, join the gift sub leaderboard with Firestar Man and Aristofan if you want to do that. Bits and coins, always appreciated. You could join in with Harold and Puppet Jared and Flesh Wife Marie. That would be lovely if you want to do that. There are various ways to help me out. I'm going to talk about ways that are alternatives to Twitch, which is part of Amazon. You could also be like Umjan, who just gifted 5 subs to the community. Thank you so much. Let's throw the Bear Cave Lego Scythe Tier 2 in applause there. And we'll welcome What the Farios, Pharmacist Judge, Snuffy McGee, Vagabond Dion, and Mr. Shanks. Mr. Shanks. Thank you so much, Umjan, for gifting those subs. We are now at 48. The goal is 50, but we are already close to that goal with 48 subscribers out of 50. That's so rad. Thank you so much, John, for gifting those subs. Appreciate it very much. And enjoy not seeing ads and cool emotes to the people that won those gifts. Received those gifts, I should say. But I have alternatives to that. Hey, you might know this. I got a Patreon. Patreon.com/PatBear. There's a $1, a $3, a $5, and a $10 tier. Different rewards for different tiers. The $10 tier just voted today on what I will be building after this kit is done. I do have a bunch of new kits coming. I have a premium Bandai kit coming on Tuesday. I've got a kit coming in the mail, and I have like 2 model kits and 1 fake Lego set, and we'll talk about that in a moment or two, coming in the mail this coming week. But the next thing I'm going to be building is the Barbatos 6th form. It is a kit that's been in my backlog for almost 2 years, I want to say. I'm going to look it up. Let's see. I don't remember when I bought this kit. I'm going to look it up in there. Barbatos. Let's see. I got a bunch of Barbatoses here. Tell me when I bought that. I got the full mechanics from the Iron Blooded Orphans. I got this one here. Why can't... It is not on my list. I do not know when I got this. Maybe I bought it somewhere else and it wasn't... Oh, no, here's the 6th form. The High Blooded Orphans. Yeah, November 16th, 2021. It has been almost 2 years. But that's the next thing I'm going to be building. A kit that I've had in my backlog for almost 2 years. Finally won a poll, and it's the next thing I'm going to be building. But I have some new stuff coming. Some stuff that will be very exciting, I think. Also, I have a YouTube channel, youtube.com/PatBear. Subscribing to that is free. If you would like to become a member over on YouTube, you're more than welcome to do that. It's $2 a month, and you get my Wednesday videos a day early. So you could consider doing that. Those are all monthly ways to support me. You could also do a one-time donation, and everything that comes in through my PayPal, Stream Elements, or Coffee, YouTube subscriptions, including AdSense, Twitch, and Patreon. Everything I make goes into a fund, and I buy model kits with that. This Zaku 1 sniper type I saw on sale on Amazon and picked up, and I was happy to do that. The next kit I bought in November 2021. Excited to work on that. It is fun to be able to pick up some old kits and put those together. Now, there's a way to say, like, Pat, I know you just did a poll, but I have a specific idea of something you should buy and you should build. Well, the answer to that is you could buy something from my Amazon wish list. I'll make a dedicated video about it, and it will jump the queue and becomes the next thing that I build. There's a lot of cool shit on my wish list, I should say. What's not on my wish list right now is the DeLorean fake-ass, not real Lego set. The Return to Future DeLorean building car. I bought that with my own... I bought that. It wasn't something that was bought on my wish list. I bought that with money sent to me by a friend. A friend of mine was watching the VOD, saw that, and Venmo'd me $20 and said, hey, I don't like having an Amazon account, so I don't have one right now, but you should buy that. Here's $20. So that is a wish list item. I'm considering that a wish list item, even though I bought it. The Back to Future or Return to Future, as it says on the thing. BTTF Time Machine Car Building Set. Classic 80 movies collectibles. Great gifts and toys for fans. That is the next thing that I'll be building. Once it arrives, it'll be then on deck. So I that has now been purchased. Thank you, friend. Who I don't know if they want to remain anonymous or not, so I haven't said their name. Anyway, there's Lego sets. I got this knockoff Lego. I'm kind of obsessed with knockoff Lego right now, so I got a bunch of different things, including something that I just put on that list that I won't build until Halloween, but Halloween is next month, so I got this, I put on this list this Halloween building block pumpkin head. New expert challenging small collectible building toy with lighting kit. That would just seems like a fun little nonsense thing to build Halloween. I've got a different version of the Hind Tree, which we've built on stream. This one's purple, and that looks fun. So we got the Witch Mercury kits, inexpensive kits, expensive kits, kits with free shipping, kits with not free shipping, gear at the bottom, all kinds of cool shit I would love to build. Hey, am I telling you that you should buy for me to build, the Bandai Figure Eyes Amplified Blue Eyes White Dragon kit? No. I'm not telling you to spend $60 on me. I am telling you that the price has dropped 20% and it was originally $75, and $60 instead of $75 is a pretty good deal. Don't spend $60 so that I can build a fantasy version of the Blue Eyes White Dragon. Although I do want to build that someday. But it is on sale. So that's something to look at. See if there's something there you'd like to see me build. Again, there's some gear at the bottom. I have a Throne wish list. That's my alternative to Amazon. I recently updated that. If you want an alternative to Amazon and you want to buy something for me to build, you do that. And you can always also go to USA Gundam Store, the most convoluted way to support me. Buy a gift card. They'll send you an email with that gift card code. You then DM me on Twitter or whisper me here on Twitch that gift card code. And then I will use that gift card code and buy something from USA Gundam Store. And it'll most likely be a Witch from Mercury kit, because that's what I like building right now, because those are the kits that are coming out. Let's see. If you want to support me and not spend any money, we'll get back to building really soon, folks. Don't worry. I have a Discord. You can hang out on the Discord. I post build photos. People post stuff they're working on. It is a nice little place full of good people. There's also Pat Baer's Anime Club. I will have a new episode in the future. The current episode right now is me talking about anime adaptations I want to see based on manga that currently do not have an anime adaptation. I talked about some classic stuff, some stuff that makes sense why it hasn't, because the creators just never got around to it, or it would never live up to it. And then also talked about some modern manga that I'm a little surprised hasn't had an anime adaptation yet and might get one soon. So check that out. And then Baerly Rehearsed is an ongoing video series where I write a comedy piece and then practice it a few times. I have at least barely rehearsed it, and then I perform it. And this one is an ad for a law office, but it's not what you think. It's my own fun take on that concept, so check that out. I think that one's pretty funny. Excuse me. All right, so because I didn't talk about anime on Thursday, I have a lot of anime to talk about here, and we're going to get into, again, quite a bit of anime. 4 shows. I'm going to talk about one of the ones I normally cover here on Monday, so if you were here specifically for some reason to hear about Undead Murder Farce, I'm going to do that on Monday, but I'll talk about all the other shows. Before I get into those 4 anime, I do need to drink some water, so we will dramatically transition to the overhead, and I'll drink a little water right now. All right. Before we work on the waist and the side skirts and the backpack and body complete this kit and then fully complete this kit, we're going to panel line this right here and I'm going to talk to you about, again, I got 4 shows to talk to you about. Let's get into the, where'd my mouse go? There's my mouse. Let's go into the first one here. And some of these shows, like, I watched like Tuesday and Wednesday, so it's been a hot minute. So forgive me. Okay, so the Menagerie. This is again Reborn is Vending Machine. I now wander the dungeon. The Menagerie, or our last episode, which is kind of like goofy hijinks and kind of some silliness. There was a fucking there was a whole goddamn thing in this episode, or the last episode, where there was a food eating contest. It was a little silly. Anyway, the Menagerie want Boxo to accompany them to Dead Lament, which is a stratum in these dungeons of undead. And Lammus is like fucking freaked out about that and doesn't want to do that. And humanly asks Boxo to think about why Lammus might be trying to overcome her fear. And then in the night, the dead wander around, and the unnamed guild secretary that occasionally shows up and is weird is like, the dead envy the living, and that's why they're out there, and just like, it's real spooky. But if you stay indoors, you're fine. And then humanly is like, Lammus, you should just go out at night and kind of to get over your fear. She's freaked out. Not great. The Menagerie wants to hunt the Stratum Lord, the Soul King, because remember, there's a whole convoluted thing that got introduced way late in the series that if you beat the various bosses, you can collect a bunch of things and then have a big wish at the end. It's kind of like, people think that's what's happening. I don't remember if that was actually confirmed or not. But yeah, that's the whole, like, kind of the conceit of why some people are doing the nonsense they're doing. Boxo encounters an undead child who is trying to, like, buy something from Boxo. And Boxo is, like, interested in finding out if they can communicate with the dead. Is there some intelligence there? Like, Boxo's like, I don't know, I'll see, what's up? So Boxo gives a bottle, and the boy, like, tries to drink it, and then several nights the boy tries to do it. That's like a little montage of that. And then things get kind of fucking sad. The Menagerie and Boxo go out, and the undead child follows them to go see Boxo, trying to get that drink. Like, and Boxo can't stop the Menagerie from killing the child, which again is an undead child. And then Boxo realizes the boy has been carrying around a penny and was trying to buy something. And again, is this learned behavior? Is this remnants of this previous child's, like, life? Is this, like, was there intelligence there? Would there have been a way to communicate? We don't know. And Boxo's sad, and I'm sad, and it's like, what the fuck, anime? This is a show about a guy who got reincarnated as a magic vending machine, and his name was Boxo. What the fuck are we doing here? Anyway, remember the Soul King? That's the thing that got a beat on this stratum. The Soul King can use magic, so their plan is basically like, well, we're going to use Boxo as a shield because Boxo can make a barrier, and if we're in the barrier, we're good. So that's basically the plan, and I gotta say, there's not much fucking plan to that, my guys. Not a lot of planning involved in that. Anyway, this was a fucking sad episode, and I was like, what the fuck? Boxo didn't save that undead kid. Shit. Okay. Great Cleric. This episode of the Great Cleric involved so Lucille, we finally learned some shit about Lucille and what's going on, and we learn about Substance X. Substance X has been the mystery liquid that helps you improve your stats, but it smells bad and tastes bad, and so no one wanted to use it. But our dude was using it because he liked the results. Anyway, our guy is like, hey, I'm here. I'm gonna help out the Adventure Guild. He's gonna start on his free time healing people in the Adventure Guild like he did in the other town. But he basically says, hey, I will help you out, but you have to promise me that you will stop calling me, the masochist, zombie masochist, which is what he was called. The nickname spread from where he was previously. He's like, you got to come up with a new nickname. And you also got to, don't be mad at clinics doing their thing. I'm trying to work on that. Like, be chill, but also stop calling me that. So the nickname they come up with is Saint Weirdo. It translates to Saint Weirdo. And that's not better. He's dismayed. He's like, well, you don't say masochist and you don't say zombie, but Saint Weirdo's not great. Okay, well, I guess I'm Saint Weirdo. So he's Saint Weirdo now. Sorry, Lucille. So he's getting some gossip. He finds out that Brond has been training adventurers. Basically, Brond has been doing what he suggested and training a bunch of adventurers, to kind of protect their lives so that they don't need to be healed as often, which is good. Golgar has been trying to get people to eat Substance X. And then a couple receptionists are getting married. And Lucille is kind of worried about that because it might be Nanella or Monica, two ladies there that he has affection for, that have affection for him. And he's never acted on any of those impulses, but he's certainly been interested. And more importantly, they're sometimes not replying to his letters. So he's like, oh, fuck, okay. Well, maybe they found some people to marry. Shit. Maybe they're marrying each other. We don't know. Anyway, we flash forward 6 months. Basically, we skipped some of the manga. I can tell you from reading the manga, that was pretty repetitive. It just like him fighting some stuff, and there were some time dashes in that element as well. But yeah, we're skipping some stuff to basically he has defeated the floor 30 bosses who were 3 whites, WIGHT, and we learn a little bit more about them. They're again people that died in the labyrinth. Okay, so we've now got to do the front part of the skirt here, which is this part here. Great. Working on our waist here, getting our skirt together. Okay, so he has some of Substance X, and we finally get some answers about Substance X. The Pope is like, hey, actually, that was invented by the Sage in order to unlock latent magic potential in people. But it was a failure. And it's actually called God's Lament because it smells so bad and tastes so bad. And then apparently, which is something... also, the whites were girls that she once knew. The Pope knew. Apparently, Substance X allows you to give you a bunch of effects. You get increased physical growth, skill enhancement, protection from illness, a bunch of good stuff. But you must give up one of 3 primary desires. And this apparently is in the light novel and is not mentioned in the manga. The manga just drops to one of them. Basically, you've got to give up food, sleep, or sex. And he sleeps really well, and he eats really well, or his desire for food doesn't increase. And that's when Lucille realizes, oh, I don't have a fucking sex drive, huh? which makes sense. He's embarrassed occasionally, but like he spent a lot of time with some beautiful ladies and attractive adventurers, and apparently had not recognized. And also, of course, the paladins that he hangs out, the Valkyries that he hangs out with, are to various degrees of attractive. Yeah, he lost his desire for sex, which is why he's still a virgin in that body. Um, so he makes the decision, all right, I'm going to defeat this dungeon so that I can quit Substance X, so I can fall in love, and then fall in love. Because he basically he wants to keep taking Substance X because it is improving his life and his strength. Now, I believe that we're going to find this out in the next episode, so I am going to spoil something. Because I don't know, maybe it'll take 2 episodes to say. The reason why this stage is happening is, or why he's doing this and he's not afraid of the dungeon, because I think you'll find out later, is now that we can talk about Substance X. Substance X takes away your desire, a desire of yours, in exchange for helping you grow in strength. But there's also another thing that happens. It increases your potential, but it prevents you from leveling up. So that's the reason why Lucille, who has decided in his head that this is a illusion and not real, and that's why he's not leveling up when he defeats monsters. No, he's not leveling up because he's taken too much Substance X. So even though he's really strong, that is not, it's preventing it. So that is the reason this whole time. And then there was also the other parts. But that was the part that was in there that didn't make any sense. It explains the nonsense that's going on. That's the big secret of Substance X. It it takes away one of your desires and prevents you from sorry, lost my train of thought there. Prevents you from leveling up. That's Great Cleric. That's pretty good still. I'm enjoying it. Let's move on to Helck, which was the goofy. We kind of got back into some of the goofy shit. I was pretty psyched about this episode because there's been less goofiness as things have gotten more serious, and I've been happy. I was happy with the return of at least some goofy shit. The Tosu men, the king of the Tosu men, used his life force to make himself strong, and Helck has been fighting with it. Helck, this is the first beast that Helck hasn't been able to just one shot. So Vermilio gets involved, but doesn't really need to. And then the king's body just crumbles because it just wasn't strong enough to handle that. And the Tosu men apologize, and and they're just like, "We're out of here. We're so sorry that the king forced us to do this," and they leave. So that kind of wraps up that story part. And then they see the people that they were helping out that had been turned into monsters. They go back to their previous forms because the king curse has been lifted with the king, the king of the Tosu men being dead. Problem fucking solved. We did it, everybody. Princess is like, thank you all so much. There's a party, and then later Vermilio, Helck, and Pee-wee the bird person, 13. They leave. They're heading out. It's time for them to move on. They get a new town so they can get intel about the different countries and get a new map because they're trying to get back to the rest of their party. They find a map shop, but the seller wants a lot of money, and Vermilio doesn't. They're like, okay, we'll hold on to it. We'll get that money, and they got to figure out a way to earn a lot of money. Luckily for them, they're like, we could maybe sell some items we got, but that's not really going to help. But luckily for them, there's a cooking competition. Oh, what happened there? Did I get... Okay, no, we're good. We're good. Sorry. My mic got louder, but it's still within the range of how I would like to talk into it. I think we're okay. Sorry. There's a cooking competition, and they must make a soup in an hour. And Helck is like, I don't know if whatever. But this is kind of going back to the early episodes of the series where it was a little sillier and a little goofier because, we got a cooking competition. Helck wins the cooking competition, totally fine. Pee-wee gets lost somewhere and starts hanging out with somebody from the town, and they're singing. They win. They get a recipe book. Maybe that recipe book will come in handy later. We don't know. They find Pee-wee. They give the money to the merchant, who gives them the map, and then he's like, "Hey, just so you know, shit's getting serious out there. You want to be careful." And then that girl who sang with Pee-wee is like, "There's a warrior of darkness." And then Vermilia's like, "Well, we need to know more about this being of dark, this warrior of darkness that's out there." So, will this be related to the other fight? We don't see any of the other fight. We only see this. Again, most of this episode is a cooking competition, and that's fun. That's a little more lighthearted. I would say this series, the second half of the series, I haven't liked as much as the first half. Again, because it got serious and got real, and it was less about the competition to be the next Demon Lord, and more about dealing with the problems that they're all facing. So I was like, I'm less into that shit. Hey Harold, welcome. And one more anime to chat with you all about, and then we'll probably talk about some games and such. While I try to finish this kit up, all we have left is the backpack. So we are on our way to finishing this kit up. We're gonna body complete it now. I'm just gonna panel line this piece, and we'll put it together. So Saint Cecilia and Pastor Lawrence is the last show that I want to talk to you about this episode, because again, I'll talk about Undead Murder Farce on Monday, because I'm doing all the anime. I did all the anime that I didn't get a chance to talk about on Thursday because I cut the stream very short. So now I can tell you about all these things. And we can body complete this kit. Can we? What? There we go. That was weird. Great. This kit is now body complete. It is time to build the backpack, and then the kit will be, the model will be complete. Again, we do have this thing that pops out here. The bipod thing for basically it is for steadying for the sniper mode, but we're not gonna pose it like that. We'll just have it be built. That's kind of neat that it's there. But right now we'll just build a backpack while I tell you about Saint Cecilia and Pastor Lawrence. All right, so they've been away for a while. They're back now, and they're kind of recognizing that oh shit, a lot of work has been piling up. But also, they're excited because Hazeletta and Abel are planning on moving to the village in the future to help support them. It's for the knee. Yes. Yeah, it's for the knee. This piece is for stability on the knee, so that it can bend like this. That. I think it's like that. Or yeah, so it's okay, so it's like this, I think. I think this is what it's going for. So they can do that. I don't know. Like that. Yeah, maybe like that. So that it can get, because remember, it doesn't need any of these scopes or whatever. It never needs those scopes. The scopes are in the fucking mobile suit, but I love the idea of I've got a mobile suit with a sniper rifle. Let me get into prime sniping position with the kit with this thing. It's just no, just zoom in with your targeting, whatever. Okay, so basically they're returning kind of the status quo. They're just kind of getting back into the vibes and the good times. But that's good, except Cecilia's like, ooh, I'm alone with Lawrence. It's time for us to spend some quality time together. Time to hang out with the dude that I like, who is not always very open about how he feels about me. She knows he likes her, but doesn't really get to spend all the time together. So they're like, oh, we'll get some time together, but very busy. So they don't get to spend as much time together. Cecilia falls, and then when he goes and finds her, he's like, yeah, I'm just kind of mad we don't get to see each other. And then We get the hey, this anime, this will they won't they slow romance series hasn't really done a lot of bullshit tropes. Here's a bullshit trope for you. She falls, he stabilizes her, but it ends up being in an awkward position where they're very close to one another. And then they're embarrassed, and then they're out and about in public, and people can notice they're embarrassed. And the town, all these people who know they have the hots for one another and interested in one another, are like, "Oh, what's going on? Trouble in paradise?" Blah blah blah, and being weird about it. There's Mel, who we haven't seen in a while, and she's kind of getting involved in the relationship. This is a fine episode, but nothing really happens in it. Eventually, they apologize and they're like, "Hey, we want to be able to spend some time together." And then because some days have passed. Hey, look, Abel and Hazeletta show up, and they're getting an apartment together because they want their own space, so they're not all four of them stuck together, which is probably for the best. It's probably a good idea that they're going to do that. There's a whole thing about them getting settled in and getting some space, and maybe because they're gonna get together. Who knows? Maybe they're getting together. Childhood sweethearts. Who knows? Could be. And there's a whole little cute thing that like might come up later and might not come up later about how like there's like a couple items like basically Lawrence is like, do you want to like decorate or get new stuff in here? Are you happy with how things are? And her basically being like, well, yeah. And she's only really thinking about like an item that he got for her. And it's just cute. There's some cute moments in this. Why can't I get this? I don't know why I can't get this piece to sit in here right. Is it supposed to sit like that? Okay, no, it just pops out. These two pegs don't seem to want to sit in that peg. And I don't think this is supposed to be able to pop in and out. I want to say this is supposed to, stay. And it doesn't. And I don't know why. But this part of the backpack, like, all right, I'm just going to leave it like that. It doesn't feel secure, but sure, whatever. We'll figure it out. And then on this side, we also have other parts that need to go on here. And yeah, so that's the episode. Just like they're talking about Hazeletta, about the new apartment, and that's kind of it. This was not my favorite episode of this show. It is mostly very cute. I don't love that they went with the trope like, oh, fall in each other, like have an awkward moment and then be really weird about it later. Like I'm just kind of over that shit. And this one hasn't really done that too much. But we do need some progress in the relationship. Even a little bit. So I'll take what I can get, which is, again, not necessarily what I was looking for, but sure. It was a fine episode. And again, we'll talk about Undead Girl Murder Farce on a later stream because we'll talk about that here. And now I want to hear from you, friends. What are you watching? What are you playing right now? What's got you going? What are you into gaming wise? Are you watching things on TV? You watching stuff on Netflix? You go to the movies? You see the Equalizer 3 in theaters? Or did you go to the other third movie in a series? Did you go to My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3? What are you all into right now? What's got you motivated and going? Games or movies or TV or sports or whatever. I want to hear from you about that. I think I'm done for a while with Starfield. I've been playing too much Starfield because I didn't want to play it today. I had a little time to play some games and I was like, oh, I should get Starfield. And I was like, what if instead of Starfield, I played another video game? And then I just went back to Power Wash Simulator and finished up the free update to Power Wash Simulator that I hadn't finished. So I have now finished Power Wash Simulator, and it's good. Turns out, Power Wash Simulator, still fun. Hearthstone I've been playing. There's new expansions coming out next week, and I believe also starting this week there's some weird shit where like like I think Wild and Standard are going to have like some oddball stuff basically leading up to this mini expansion. It's not a full expansion, it's a mini expansion. I'm not like super caught up on what's going on with Hearthstone, but I do have enough gold for the update, so I'm excited about. So excited to check that out and see what this update is actually going to be. Because again, I haven't fully kept up with it, but new cards are always fun, and we'll see if I can supplement any of my decks with some new cards. And again, I have enough gold that I don't have to spend money on it. I can just use the gold that I have, and then I will start saving up gold for the next full expansion, which comes at some point. So that'll be fun. Lashbrook has been watching NASCAR and college football. Hell yeah! Hope you're enjoying that. Hope those games have been fulfilling. This backpack is giving me all kinds of trouble. This is not slotting in easy like it should. This thing keeps popping out. What the fuck? This kit was not hard to build. This kit was not challenging or annoying at all. But right now, running into some problems, and that's not bueno. That's not good. Yeah, can't figure this one out. Don't know. But I'll look at what you were saying here. I thought about seeing Outlaw Johnny Black, but decided to be lazy and stay home during the rain instead. Hell yeah, Lastbrook. You be lazy. I don't know what's going on with this fucking backpack, but it's just not doing what I need to do. Got Ace Combat 6 from Gamefly, so look forward to checking that out. But then I think you meant Armored Core 6 instead of Ace Combat 6. Oh no, Lashbrook said I beat AC6, not Ace Combat 6. You beat Armored Core 6 and just got the worst ending imaginable, starting a new game plus, and it's going so much faster. Hell yeah. Aristophae is going to see Haunting in Venice tomorrow. I forgot I said I finished Chance of Sanar, which is great. I've heard very good things, but then also watched Mary be not good at it and have a very... I don't think Mary was having a good time with that game. And I could totally understand. I don't know if that's a good streaming game. I think that's a good game to be playing where you can take breaks and you don't have chat enjoyment to worry about. And you could just kind of do whatever. Finally got that part. I didn't get the other part, but I got this part done. Why this won't stay in, I don't know. But the other part is done, so that's good. You met Armored Core earlier. Oh, Lastbrook also met Armored Core 6. Both of you met Armored Core 6. Neither of you meant Ace Combat 6. Okay, great. Harold, did I say you were Lashbrook? I apologize. Harold is watching NASCAR and college football. I apologize, Harold. I'm sorry if I said your name wrong or the wrong name there. New Game Plus and New Game Plus Plus went much faster. That's what John is saying about Armored Core 6. Nobody here is really thinking about Ace Combat. No. You saw... you saw... Dick Van Dyke kill a man in Colombo. That's been fun. Oh, yeah, I missed that. Sorry, I missed that. Hell yeah. You saw the few weeks ago episode. Yes, that is the second time I think that I've heard that in recent days. I got the backpack part done, which is great. I'm looking forward for my next new game. Bought Turn Knights and hoping to start that soon. Hell yeah. Ace Combat 6 is actually pretty good if anyone wants to play it. And no one's really thinking about that. Yeah, nobody was really thinking about Ace Combat, but people were saying Ace Combat, and that's fine. Great. I think I'm now caught up in the games y'all are playing, which is great to finally know what everybody's talking about. All right, so the last part of this kit, the backpack, which I apparently it took me taking the rocket parts out, the boosters out, and then just putting this connector piece in, then it fit. So we are taking this hose, and we are sticking this wire in the hose because we don't want just a bent wire. This is supposedly feeding the beam stuff from the backpack, the beam energy to the gun because it's a beam sniper. And then we're adding this wire for stability, basically. And then on one end, we go... one end is here. And then the other end goes here. And then we can connect this to the gun, but I'm not going to bother doing that because that's going to be annoying. So I'm not going to do that. Instead, I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to do that. That looks cool. This does connect to the gun there, but then I got to route it and worry about that stuff, and I don't want to do that. So instead, we'll just attach it right like this. And that's it. That's the kit. The kit is done. We got our spare gun. Our spare gun can live on the back. It's hard to do that with a backpack because that does fold down. I'm not going to panel line the backpack, I don't think. Oh, I just had the place that covers up where it sits on a stand fall out. That's fine because this kit is done, and I am happy to be done with this kit. I'm watching Jaws on Netflix. It was almost 50 years old. Jaws. The last time I watched Jaws, I was very pleased with my time with it. I think Jaws holds up. And I think this kit holds up. I think this kit looks pretty great. This kit was fun to build. That backpack had an annoying part in it. But other than that, I think this kit was pretty cool. Older kit. This is a reissue of an older kit. It feels like an old kit. It comes together pretty easy. You got some various hands. If you want to hold hands a little differently, if you want this to be a two-handed weapon, you can do that. You don't want to hold any weapons. You got that there. So we have some different hands here, which is nice. And that's kind of it for extra parts. There's not a lot of extra parts. And then the next thing we'll be building is, I'll just show here. We're not going to get into it tonight. We finished the Zaku 1. The Barbatos 6th form. This is the oldest kit in my backlog. And, as I said, or I don't know if I said this. I said it was the oldest kit in my backlog. I don't know if I said that it is one of 2 kits from Iron Blooded Orphans that I have not built. There's one kit on my Amazon wish list from Iron Blooded Orphans, and is the only Iron Blooded Orphans kit that I have never built. And that'll be, someday I'm going to just buy that. It's on the wish list if you want to pick that up. But this is the second to last one. This has been in my backlog for so long. I think, what year is this kit? It's not that old. Because there were plenty of Barbatos. This is from 2016. This is the 6th form for Barbatos. It has, instead of the big sword, it has got the grabber, the mace that can also be like a claw, like the jaws of the reverse jaws of life. A really unique, weird weapon. I have not built Iron Blood Orphans kit in a little bit. I'm excited to put that together. This is just this is a cool looking mobile suit that we're working on next. It has a fuck ton of stickers. I think some of these you can just choose which ones you want. Yeah. You can choose 18, 19, or 20. And I don't remember, we'll kind of figure that out. So I think these are there are 2 of them, but these are necessary. But yeah, lots of stickers because it's the original Barbatos with some extra flair to it. So of course there's going to be more. But that's what we're going to be building on Monday. Lord Crashing, you mentioned that the sound when a match starts in F099 sounds like a Twitch alert, and that sucks. That's a weird thing. That could be a weird thing if that's not something you're looking for. But yeah, I'm going to take a photo of this kit because that is how we end. I always post photos, build photos. So we'll take a photo there of this kit fully built out. We'll just pop that there. And that'll probably be just about it for the stream. I do want to remind you that I got another stream on Monday. We're going to be starting a brand new kit because we just had that. I know what we're going to be building after that kit because something was bought off my Amazon wish list. So I know what I'll be building after that, which is the knockoff Lego. Tuesday stream, Pat Baer's Anime Club Live. That's right. It's finally time to do that again because we're getting towards the end of this anime season. So it will be my summer wrap-up / fall preview. Now, some of my shows, for various reasons, are not going to even be done by Tuesday. They will not have wrapped up. I think only one show I watch will be wrapped up by Tuesday. But that's just how things work out. I have to do it a little bit in advance. But new shows are starting. So this is my chance to preview for the next season about anime that I want to watch. So I want to remind you that that's coming up on Tuesday. That'll be a fun thing because I record it live. You can hang out and chat for that. I would love it if you could hang out for that if you're going to be around because that's really fun to have people hang out and chat while I do that. And give your comments because I don't watch every show. So maybe you're like, oh, actually that show rules, or no, Pat, that's not worth it. Don't that actually is a shitty show that I did not watch, and you were right for not watching it. That kind of stuff. You can do that. We are going to raid. That is how we end every stream around here. We're going to go hang out with some people who are doing some cool shit out there, see what they're up to. So let's go see who is streaming. I hope you will come hang out. We always end with the raid, as when John says yes. I hope you will come hang out in this stream, and I hope you will, I don't know, hang out in the future. Ooh. Let's see how long they've been streaming. Ooh, they've been going for... no, they've been going for over 3 hours. I do not want to raid because I do not think they'll be continuing to hang out, so we're not going to do that. They've been going for a very long time, too. Wow, I just don't know who to raid tonight. A lot of people that, like, some people go like 4 or 5 hours. A lot of the people that I follow only stream for like a couple hours at a time, like I do. So, you know what? We haven't done this in a while. It'll be silly and weird. Let's go raid Old Timey Computer Show. Is this helping a small stream? I don't know. It's kind of a small stream. Let's go raid the Old Timey Computer Show. This is a thing about understanding the internet, and it's from the 90s, and that sounds fun. So let's go hang out with Baer. Thank you all so much for hanging out. I hope you have a great rest of your night. Hope you come back on Monday to check out things with me. Hope you enjoy this raid as we go and watch some early internet bullshit. Love 90s computers. Me too. And I'm also going to watch wrestling with some friends. So I'm going to go do that. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Goodbye, goodbye, goodbye. Goodbye.